Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to Awesomecallstrading.com live recap webinar. Well, 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 well. What do you say? A majority of people were done before the market opened. That's the beauty of being in the greatest chat room in the world, that you can literally be done before the market even opens. All right? If you know, well, first you got to be in the right chat room. That's number one. You got to be up with you got to be like with a trader that just has an instinct for blood in the water. I'm like a shark. You ever seen a shark? I'm like this. You want to see what I am? I'll show you what I am. This is me. This is me in the morning. Okay? Especially when I see a stock being gutted. Let me see if I can find it for you. It's under downloads, I think, right? Let me see if I can find it for you. See if I can find it. I'm this. This is me. I want you to see this. See? Look at that. I'm coming up. I'm going to scoop up the shares. That's me. I'm like a shark. Grab it all. I want it all. Okay? When I'm hungry. This morning, I woke up hungry. And I had a lot of new signups from one dayers to 1 weekers that I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to find them something. And last night after hours, there was a stock called INGN. And it was down after hours like 25 points. I just saw it. It was just gone. And it was after hours. And you got to know one thing about me. I don't even need to see the report. I don't need to see anything. Okay, first of all, let me teach you something about day trading. Little secret sauce here. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Okay? Secret sauce. When a stock is down 20, 25 points, don't play it after hours. Don't do anything. Let it sink some more. This is just a word. I'm being real with you. You know why? You kind of want it. You when you're down that much, all right. There's a lot of triggers that are going to happen, in the sense that there's going to be other investors going to have to bail the stock because they hit a certain price target. All right. But one of the things that you're going to get, the more it pulls, the more shorts are going to cover at the open. At the same token, you want to wait for the next day because you want to get analyst comments. Do you hear what I'm saying? You have to get analyst comments because they really help you define how to trade the stock. So just a word of warning, this is why you don't see me trading something like that after hours. Oh, I'll buy this weakness. No, I won't. I used to do that when I was a kid. In my first 2, 3 years in trading, I lost my ass 90% of the time. I was never a winner. And I kept asking myself, why do I keep, just because the stock drops 20 points, why am I buying it? Because in my head at the time, I thought, well, if it's down 20 points, well, somebody will buy it, right? It's cheap now. It's a cheaper stock. No, you got to read the report. You got to see why it's coming down. And then you have to wait for analysts to comment, people that you respect in the business that will tell you what to do with the stock. And so now I sit back and I just kind of laugh. I look across the screen after hours sometimes and I say, oh, that's down 20. I write it down. Oh, that's down 20%. That's down 15%. That's down 30%. And I smile. I'm like, fuck, that's 5 trades right there. The more you pull, the more I'm going to play it. You better believe the top trader in the world is going to be all over it. Hell yeah. And so what I did this morning is I did my homework. I took the time to read the report, and it came to my understanding, and a couple of analysts that were also analyzing the stock, basically it was oversold. And so what I did is I did warn the room. I didn't want anybody playing with big size, but just enough to get their feet wet. 200 shares, 250, 300 shares, that's good. You can do 50 or 100, but you have to give the stock a little bit of room in case it pulls at the open. Okay. And so what I did is I set ING up this morning in pre-market for everyone. I came in the room, pre-market, TD, and I went long right here. I analyzed the stock and I made the decision that the stock would probably move to 70, between 70 and 72 today, no more than that. And the reason is, well, my experience, 16 years of day trading, told me based on what I read, the stock would recover a little bit, but not enough. And I was really adamant. And so I told everyone in the room, first when I got in, was to go long the stock at 63.25. So this was my entry right around here, 63.25. Well, once I got in, the stock continued to come down and actually pulled another 75 cents, which is nothing because I told the chat room I was willing to, and this is where I went long right here, 63.25. I went around here and it dropped a little bit more, but I gave it room. It even popped and I was up. I was like up 5 cents for a moment, and then it pulled again, and then it started to come down. I'm like, oh man, shit, I'm going to hit 60. Didn't want to do that, but I feel confident that it will bounce. Okay. And so what I told everyone in the room was, first of all, you have to be very transparent, especially in a room like this. And so right here, I said number 6, gapping down. I took a few long, 63.25. I'm giving it room to 60. I gave a reason what I felt, why the stock would probably move. I said the stock will go 70 to 72 on a recovery, right there, 70 to 72. It is a little bit of a risky trade because I have room to 60, but if you go along with me, I feel confident we can get to 70 to 72. Okay? And if you look at the stock ran out of the gate within, I believe it was within 2 minutes tops, it hit 71.72. It was one of the greatest trades to do this morning, and it was a beautiful play. I played it again live in the room at 69.76 was my entry, I think it was my average. And I was playing it because it was grinding like a penny stock to me, and I felt the stock would probably pop through the 70 because it had a big wall there. I stayed with it, and I had size, and it did, and it popped through 71, and I sold right into the pop. And so that was the trade. One of the best trades calls done. Just really, really good. The next talk that I did today was a stock called Blend. Now, I've been on this for 2 days. I made this the number 1 pick this morning for the sole reason that really yesterday when I had news, I felt the stock would probably pop to 10 and then sell off to 7. I was 100% correct on that. Well, today, day 2, the stock was gapping up again from 7. It was gapping up all the way to 8.7. All I did was look at the scans, realized there was no news on it, and made the decision right then and there that the stock was a short. There was no news on it to justify any kind of push. It was just probably algos and some, retail guys just trying to play the stock to push it up. Whatever. I just didn't. It just is. There was no reason for it to be up. So I made it the number 1 pick to short in the room for all my short sellers that wanted to come in with size, and I basically said, Blend, I'd short at 850, add on any pop, and sink it down to 7 and under, and that was the trade. So pretty simple. Okay. Now, what do I want to pick next? Well, there's so many. AVLR. I can go after Cuervo. Let's do Cuervo and EA Sports. Okay, so let's do Cuervo and EA. Now, Cuervo was pretty simple for me. Cuervo had they had a beat, so they were gapping up at 73.68. They were gapping up. I think it was $78 a share. Now, the thing with Cuervo is what you have to know about this particular stock is they tend to give back a lot of their earnings. Okay. Moving on, Trump tweet. Yeah, he tweeted that earlier, and Darkside alerted as well. So I think it just keeps pushing. Last minute, people are getting in it. But you could chase it if you want. Just be careful with it. I think, again, they're going to do an ATM very shortly after the close. So careful with it. Just don't overnight it. So anyway, this is gapping up 4. Now, one thing you know about Cuervo is they like to fill their gaps. So write that down if you're new to trading. There's certain stocks like EA, Cuervo, and a few others, they like to fill their gaps. And so to me, this was simply a gap fill and then along. So now the earnings were good, so I didn't think it would come down to 73.68. So I figured it would probably come 74 area and under and then long the stock. So basically what I wanted to do in my head was 78, all right, short to 74, back to 78. That's pretty much just a simple 8-point trade, and that's what I was looking for. Okay, so I came over here and I put up Cuervo, and I, just said this is exactly what the stock's going to do. Go short 78, and you could tell from the day right here. There's the gap up, and I didn't care about this. This was a fat finger right here. Uh, I didn't give it very much credence like I normally would do. Because I know, and then I saw this after hours yesterday, how it pulled back down. And that kind of gave me the inkling that, you know what, if this gap's up, I bet I fill that gap. So that's what I did. So here's the short, 78 short, came all the way down to 74.50, back up to 78 again. That's the trade. Pretty simple. The other one was EA. This is another one that, you're not going to know this unless you're trading for, 16 years. But EA tends to fill their gaps on any earnings. It doesn't matter how much they explode, how much they do. There's too many bag holders on a stock like this. And you have to see this. There's just too many bag holders here. So anything above 98, 99, 100 is going to get sold off. How quickly it gets sold off depends on how many people dump the stock. Now, I had EA written down in my books that this would go to 95 and under. I didn't think it would fill the full gap, but today it showed me, and it double bottomed right off the full gap. It was a really, really, really impressive play on the short side of it. And I simply called it to short at 99 and 100 this morning in pre-market, and at the open, add on any pop and look for straight down to 95. Well, you can see in just the first, 20 minutes, the stock had already hit 95 right there, and it came all the way down to 93. Now it's slowly moving back up, filling the gap. Good earnings, halfway decent, but just too much profit taking going on from bag holders have been holding for a while. They just wanted to cash out and get out of the stock. And that's exactly what he did. That's why he got the massive sell-off today. The next stock is Boeing. I trade Boeing last couple of days, especially because it's been in the news. And Boeing to me was, when I looked at the market conditions today, I felt Boeing would probably hit 360, 365 today. And it'd be an all-day move. I just was comfortable with it. I felt to add on any weakness, pick it up at 357. If it drops, don't worry about it. In my opinion, the stock will have a nice rebound, smooth. Boeing's got it to me is at a discount price right now, and I do think investors are going to be picking it up. It's any day, all the FAA needs to say is, and Boeing needs to acknowledge it's done, it's fixed, got it resolved. We're resuming flights. The stock's going to explode through 400, 420. If you look at the call line, 3 months out, 2 months out, I bet you see a lot of 400, 420 activity calls on it. Boeing is just a strong company. Hard to do wrong on them. Always getting contracts. Nothing disrupted their contracts as far as the naval and defense and stuff like that. But maybe nobody wants to order a 737 right now. But would you? I mean, I wouldn't. And as soon as all that resumes, I mean, it'll be great. So anyway, the call this morning was on Boeing, gapping down 2, take some long, average in. If it pulls, stock will open towards 360 and then towards 365. So right now it's almost 361. Another fun stock that nobody really played today, but I want to share with you is DDD. DDD, if used to be a high flyer with SSYS. I don't know if you remember those. These are 3D copier machines, and they make copier machines and copy stuff. So I have to read Zach's thing a little bit. Thank you, Zach, for writing. Zan, I'll read that in a moment when I'm done. But thank you. I'll read it. So now DDD was a pretty. One thing you got to know about DDD is there's a certain price target when it hits, it gets bought up. All right. DDD and SSYS used to be high flyers, $70, $80 stocks. Okay. Just crazy stocks. And then, people kind of started realizing, hey, they're not so crazy. And so they started selling off and selling off and selling off and selling off. And so today DDD missed on earnings, and they always miss on earnings. It's customary. And even if they gap up, they sell off. It's one of those stocks that it doesn't matter. So to me, I told everyone, you know what? It's down almost 2 points. Why don't you start grabbing some at $8.70? When it hits eight, add to it and just hold it. The stock should rebound back to probably 9.5, 9.75, somewhere around there. Should get through 9. So DDD was just kind of like a buy and sit on it on a cheap price. So let's take a look at DDD. All right. So the more it pulled was better the trade. And you'll see this over a few days. The stock will end up over 9 and then probably settle around 9.5. And that's what it'll do. So what I wanted traders to do was simply take the $8.70 pre-market, add on the dip, which would have got you, let's say, at 8. So you would have done 850. All right. And then from 850, you would have had what, a 845 average, and you'll see over the next couple of days the stock it's got volume, it's strength, and it just continues to move up. So nice little trade there. Don't really have to do a chart on it, but I just wanted to show it to you. The next trade that I had on our books was a company called PTLI. PTLI. PTLA. Actually, let me show you MCHP. I think you're going to get a kick on this one. MCHP, I liked it because, as I explained earlier in the 15 minutes that I give the room, MCHP, what this does is, this was an earnings miss, but the report told me how to trade it. Again, when you're trading earnings, you just don't look at the chart. You don't put up graphics. You don't put up a bunch of, here's the VWAP, here's the EMA. It sounds great. It's impressive, yes, from a technical side. That's great. But the problem is you have to know before you apply those if the stock's going to go in that direction to begin with. And see, that's the key thing. This is the difference between any technical trader in the world and me. You can't apply your technical analysis, no matter how great of a trader you are, until the stock reacts at the open. Then you can dictate based on your analysis where the stock should go based on your VWAPs, your EMAs, your targets, your lines, and so forth. And that's great. But first, you need to know if it's going to even go there. Because listen to me, if the stock tanks, you're going to be applying your VWAPs, EMAs, and saying a whole nother story. Well, see, I don't have that privilege. I don't have that privilege. This is what separates me from the world, from any technical trader that runs a chat room. All right. See, a technical trader could go, and they do this all the time. The stock could go here if it hits this VWAP and jump off of this on the EMA and then do this. But if it pulls here, then it should break this and break this VWAP and come down here. You see that? See, I don't have that luxury. When I trade, I have to be right. Stock's going to pull, pop, go up, go long. That's it. That's what I do. You see? And so what I do is I don't just predict the stock, I tell you what the stock's going to do. So MCHP, you would need to buy it on the weakness because this is a stock that usually will get bought up on weakness. It's a strong company. They missed by a few little bit, small miss, and I indicated that. I indicated to long it at the open, add on any dips, and the stock would run to 91, 92, 92 plus. You see, the report told me what to do with the stock. The report. All right? That's a big difference in trading. Then you can apply your technical analysis to what I put. But before you do that, you got to do the report. You have to read the report. And that's what I did. So if you look at the stock on MCHA, there's the long right here. Add on dips to 87. Stock would go to 92, which it did. If you look at how it did it in a matter of 11 minutes of the opening bell. And then ran to 94 in a full gap fill. You see how you can make 5, 6 points just having fun? Knowing where the stock's going to do because the report told me where it was going to go. This is what makes this room so fascinating, is that you can actually take a handwritten analyst report or a complete, what do you call it? What do you call it? A report on the earnings itself, and just summarize it on the summary and make a decision. It's like reading a report and going, "This is what you need to do." That's what I do. Then you can apply all the technicals to it, all you want. Right? I'll give you one more kind of a setup like that that you'll find kind of fascinating. Which one was it? Well, INGN. I'll give you a PTLA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How about you look at PTLA real quick? This was a really fun stock. A lot of traders didn't trade this today. They just didn't see it, but it's okay. PTLA to me, their earnings, they closed at around $36 a share yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, it's about $35 a share. And it gapped down 30. Well, one thing you have to know about PTLA is a lot of investors like to buy the weakness. You don't know that, I do. And so they will eat up on the weakness below 30. Because PTLA it's a pharmaceutical company that eventually in time will probably get bought out. So buying it down here is kind of like an investor's dream. So it was really good that they messed on earnings. I kind of knew this. And I felt the stock it would never fill the gap. You're not going to fill the gap. And I knew that too. But to buy it long at 30 would have been a great opportunity. And I felt the stock would probably get through 32. And that's kind of like the call today. So it was just a simple 2-point play that I wanted everyone um, to have fun with and to enjoy for quick money. Simple, cheap stock. But it was pretty much off everyone's radar today because everyone's playing other things. But for me, I caught it, and I think I wrote my note right here. Let me show you. PTLA. Gapping down 3. I would long 30 and under and take it to 32 and then fade it. That was the play. I mean, it was just a no-brainer. Buy under 30, long it to 32, and be done with it. And here's the trade, right? Here's the 30 long, 32 pop. You're done for the day. And you were finished in 7 minutes. 7 minutes of day trading, being with the right guy, right group, right room. Imagine applying 500 shares to that trade at 30. Just putting 500 in and then hitting a market order at the opening bell and making 2 points in 7 minutes. It's $1,000 on 15 grand buying power. This is just number 4 or 5 of 14 today. There's always something for everyone to make money. Anyway, so that is today's live recap webinar. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did giving it to you. Um, if you want more of my secret sauce, you need to join the room because I spend about 15-20 minutes when I get back from break and I go over my secret sauce to everyone in the room and kind of go over what to do. And I'm really, really happy with the way we're structuring the room more and more to make it even more alert friendly for a lot of you that will like to continue to trade. Even when I go on break for a little bit, I need to take a rest. I call them power naps. And you need to do that, traders. I mean, you can't sit and stare at screens all day. This is a job. Treat it like a job. When you go to work and work for someone for 8 hours, you got to take 15 minutes or a lunch break, right? You got to allow your body to refuel and your mind to rejuvenate because if you stare at screens, you're going to have headaches all day and you'll get frustrated. You'll get migraines. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I always like to take a break. But I'm usually now on the mic till 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, which is 12 o'clock Eastern time. And then the Great Fire now takes over for an hour, which is a great moderator in here. And after that, and Janny's on the mic as well for 2 hours, 3 hours while I'm gone. He works with fire. And then the Great Dark Side will come on at 10 o'clock and Pacific time till 11 when I get back. And so it's good because there's more mods now talking, and I'm trying to encourage B trades also to be involved. And of course, Palmer, he's a part timer, and of course, Dave the trader, he's more of an alert person, so he doesn't really let us, he doesn't take the mic and entries and exits and stuff. He more or less gives us some of the most amazing alerts in the world, like he did on KRNT yesterday. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing now. So that way we're actually kind of entertaining you more in the sense that when you come in, it doesn't matter what time, we're going to find you something. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to jump all over it because you're the most important person in here. You're paying good money to be in a room to help you make money and help you learn. And you have to look at Act Chat Room as a source. It's more of a schooling. I'm really giving you, I'm schooling you all day long. That's all I'm doing. I'm teaching you. I'm making money with you. I live trade with you. You hear me do about 15, 20 different trades. I tell you my entries, my exits. You hear me loss. I mean, everyone heard my loss today on a BO. I was up, and then I was down, and then I turned around and made my money back on Cuervo, and I made a fortune on INGN. I got to pay my bills today. So um, I'm really excited for tomorrow, and I hope I wake up or look up tonight when I come home and see a 30-point gap down on something because you believe it, I'll be all over it. And if you don't believe Boeing's going to 365, I'll tell you the chart, 365. See what it's like being in the greatest chat room in the world? What if you were an option player, came in here and I said, hey, why don't you buy 365 calls today because that's where the stock's going? Really? Can you put that in writing for me? Absolutely. Where do you want it? Right here? Yeah. This will go to 365 today. Should recover to 365. Done. So right now, AJ, pre-market, right now at 356, if I buy 365 calls, you're going to hit that? Yeah. Either today or tomorrow. But that's where it's going. So imagine if you bought it at 355 right now, and the stock is sitting at 361. How much do you think you'd be up? And this is just a notable trade. It's not even our numbered trade. I mean, this is just one trade. I don't need to put you in a DVD or a separate back room on a channel room to go over how a play's going to work. I mean, Jesus, come on. Paying good money, $6 a day. Here, you can find it around the house. All you got to do is just load it on your computer. Boom, you're in the room. Okay? All right, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. If you want to be a part of the room, just click anywhere where it says ACT or any of the great reviews that we get. People that put ACT on there, click it, and you're in the room. Take care.